All right, hello and welcome to the Workforce Flathead Opportunity Fair. We are glad to have everyone joining us virtually. My name is Kat Bauer and I'm with Job Service Kalispell. I will be moderating this panel today. We have a few housekeeping items to review. The webinars are being recorded and will be posted on workforceflathead.com as well as Job Service Kalispell's YouTube channel. We'll save some time at the end of this webinar to answer any questions you may have. So please submit your questions using the Q&A feature on your screen. Lastly, we will share employer contact information at the end of the webinar. And today we have Clint Bierman and Jessica Torian with us to talk a little bit about the Montana State University Northwestern Agricultural Center. Hi, Clint, and hi, Jessica. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here today. To begin with, will you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do at the MSU Northwestern Agricultural Center?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Clint Bierman, and I'm a new assistant professor here at the Northwest Ag Research Center. And my position is in cropping systems agronomy. So I focus on agronomy research in crop production here. And my focus is generally on pest management in crops. And my background is in weed science. So I'm studying how people manage weeds in crops as well as other broader agronomic management like variety trials and fertility management. Go ahead, Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica Torian. I'm an associate professor of field crop physiology here at the Research Center. I started at the Research Center since 2014 as an assistant professor, and I just got promoted a year ago to associate level. And almost 4 years now, I have been the superintendent of the Northwestern Ag Research Center also. Most of my work encompasses nutrient and water management type of work and look at genetic responses of various crops to these stressors, which is mostly nutrients and water.
All right, terrific. And I know you've shared a great video about the Agricultural Center. I'm going to take a moment, it's a couple minutes long, and I'm going to share that with everybody right now. Okay.
The Northwestern Agricultural Research Center is located in Creston, Montana. It is one of 7 off-campus research centers of Montana State University. This research center consists of 200 irrigated and dry land acres and is well equipped with modern field plot equipment, laboratory equipment, facilities, and greenhouse space. Scientists and staff at this research center are actively involved with local agriculture and enjoy interactions with area farmers, ranchers, and agribusiness people. They also work with the MSU Cooperative Extension Service to serve the widely varied agricultural needs of our immediate area and northwestern Montana. Current research is broadly classified into 2 complementary areas: cropping systems with emphasis on pest management or biotic stress, and field crop physiology of non-living growing conditions and factors referred to as abiotic stress. Pest research initially emphasized weed management issues, but has evolved to include plant disease and insect pests as well. And as newer pests appear in the region, research is redirected in order to develop management strategies to combat the new threat. Regardless of the pest, integrated approaches are sought that include both short-term and long-term solutions that are economically and environmentally sustainable. Recently, economic and environmental imperatives have resulted in a redirection of research emphasis to focus on crop nutrient use efficiency and water use efficiency. These 2 factors are essential for optimum crop production and quality, and will be increasingly important resources to manage wisely as NWARC continues to meet the future demands of Montana's agricultural producers and aligned industries.
Wow, that video really showcases the beauty of Flathead Valley and coming to work in this area. Really gorgeous. Thank you for preparing that. And Clint, I understand you have a PowerPoint that you'd like to share.
Yes, I do. Let me pull it up here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my video just to make sure I don't freeze. I'm on a pretty limited internet connection here.
No problem.
But this didn't start at the beginning. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about some careers in agronomy today. And most of these are direct outside of ag research, just to cover other career paths. This is by no means exhaustive, but it's just some of the ones I thought of to explain. So agronomy, as a science, I find myself having to explain it a lot when people ask me what I do or ask me what agronomy is. So by definition, agronomy is the science of soil management and crop production. So any type of science that encompasses producing a crop or managing soil in terms of crop production, that all falls into the very broad field of agronomy. So there's a lot of people with different areas of expertise that work in the field of agronomy. So my background, I just wanted to share a little bit because similar to maybe someone who's watching, I did start at a junior college or community college. And that's definitely where I got my start, and a lot of interest in agriculture was there. I went to a community college thinking I might pursue ag, but really didn't know what part. And that's really where I got excited about plant type ag and crop production, was definitely at community college. And that definitely got me started on the path I was on. And then I also worked as an agronomist for a consulting company. So I got some experience there outside of ag research. And that's before I went back to school to get into ag research. So a community college is a great place to start, I think, and definitely shaped my path a lot in starting into agriculture. So my thought is careers in agriculture are highly rewarding. You get to work with great people. I feel it very purposeful to help feed a growing population, to make sure that ag is meeting the world's needs. And I also like how the seasonal work changes in agriculture. You're not doing the same thing the entire year. It's constantly changing through the seasons, as most ag jobs do. So here's some different types of positions in ag that I just wanted to explain a little bit about. A lot of people, there's a lot of positions in service and retail, and this would mean working for an agriculture company or for a retail supplier like your local cooperative who sells seed and fertilizer and other pest management products. And these positions can be really great, as in you're working directly with growers. You can learn a lot because you need to know your area and the pests and the different crops. in order to be successful at making service recommendations or helping farm. It's very important that you know their fields and their production limitations in order to make the best recommendations. And also answering field calls if something doesn't work like it should have, maybe going out to the field and looking at things and trying to get to the bottom of an issue. So that's kind of an overview of what a service and retail position would be like. Agronomy consulting, similar to service and retail in some regards, as you're out in the field a lot, talking to growers and learning their production practices, but mainly just providing advice on crop management, maybe out in the field on a more regular basis, monitoring crop development, and then just making management recommendations throughout the season, whether that's irrigation level to provide enough moisture, any pest management practices or disease management that needs to take place throughout the season, making recommendations on those, and also making soil fertility recommendations would all be common components of a crop consulting position. And then precision ag support is a growing field in agriculture as technology increases and precision ag increases. So there's a lot of technology on farm equipment now, and a lot of equipment dealers and other technology sales just have representatives who go out to the field just to service this equipment and make sure that it's working right, training people to use it. So this is another growing area of work and could be a great place for you if you really like technology, but also it also fits very closely with agronomy because you need that crop production knowledge to know how to get this equipment to work properly to grow a successful crop. So you might be working with a grower to create a variable rate seed map or variable rate fertility to give optimal production on an uneven field, and then maybe meeting with them in the field on their equipment to get things working and just doing service calls like that. So there's potentially a big field in precision ag support as well. So moving on to ag research, what Jessica and I do here at the Northwest Ag Research Center. Ag research is exciting because it's in agronomy, but you're working to take ag to the next level. You're working to adapt production practices to meet whatever we need for the future. So, and usually that's addressing problems. There's something that's a problem in production or management or something holding back production. We're trying to figure out how to adapt to meet those challenges. And it's exciting because we do work with growers and with other scientists. These are some folks who have worked at NWARC, and this is like a small plot trial here that they're standing around. So we do a lot of these to just evaluate different varieties and how they grow here in Northwest Montana. And this photo on the right is a past student operating some laboratory equipment. So we do have students working both in the field and then in the laboratory from time to time. And then here's just some photos of past students who have worked at the Northwest Ag Research Center. So at times we can have a large team of several people on some bigger projects, collecting data on lots of wheat plants, working outdoors in the field to lay out studies. And we also have had students in the past who've been very passionate about ag research. Jessica can tell you more, but who have gone on to graduate school and gone into research themselves. So that's the end of mine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Share. there's lots of opportunities here, whether you're from an agriculture background or not, or maybe even if you're not interested in research, if you just want to learn about ag, this is a great place to start.
Now, Clint and Jessica, what are some key skills that you are looking for in new hires?
Oh, maybe I can answer that. We
Okay.
typically look for, say, for instance, a full-time employee, meaning 40 hours per week with full benefits. We typically look for their specific experience and educational background, but for temporary employees, not so much on the experience, but we typically look for someone who has an interest in learning what we do, ability to listen and ask good questions, and wanting to experience the teamwork or just be part of the team, and hoping that what they learn here at the research center, they can apply it to their future career that they choose. And we are always in the lookout for employees to help us with our research programs.
Wonderful. And are there opportunities for advancement or professional development opportunities?
Yeah, definitely there are. It's one of the things, we have field days. Some of the students are even exposed to speaking and doing outreach, and we train them into how doing that, data management. Some students, like Brittany, for instance, is one example where she started at the FBCC. She got curious about what we do and end up doing plant breeding and genetics, and we recommended her to one of our breeders, and now she's finishing up with her PhD in plant breeding and genetics. So there are also part-time employees that we like to keep, and it's not uncommon that some of the employees that are really interested and are good at working with us eventually will become a full-time employee if there are other openings and things like that.
Where should job seekers who are interested in a career with you go next?
Some of them become students of mine. They become master's student, for instance, or interested in doing PhD. There are some interest in that. Some of them would ask questions like, oh, this is because this is a place for network. We tend to recommend them to other professors as well in other research centers. This research center is only one of the 7. And so there are other 7 research centers spread around the state, and also the main campus in Bozeman. So Justin, for instance, is now a superintendent at the Western Ag. He started here and continued a graduate program, and eventually became a faculty member of the research center. So something like that. It really, we are trying to expose students into appreciating who we are and what we do and what's our purpose and value as an agriculture researchers.
All right, thank you. And that is all the time that we have for today. Remember, you can watch the recording of this panel and all the other panels at workforceflathead.com and on Job Service Kalispell's YouTube channel. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and thank you especially to Clint, and thank you Jessica for taking the time to talk with us today. I'll go ahead and end by sharing a screen with your business contact information. All right, thank you again. Have a good day, everybody.